let's talk about our content journey, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like I don't get to hear more of these stories.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're part of that wave of creators that started, at least I am, like in
Yeah.
the pandemic.
Yeah,
Right?
I started much later.
Yeah, like in the pandemic, I kind of started dabbling with content.
Yeah.
And that, of
And
course,
you were
like
someone who
changed
had
my
never
life.
done
Yeah,
content before.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I want to know for you, like, what is your relationship with content? Like, how long, like, when was the first video that you made?
I think the first video that I made officially was back in 2013.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and that was like through a handy cam that I had. I'd gone for an exchange to Poland, and back then, like obviously you didn't have like pro cameras. Even your phone didn't have like much you can do with it.
Right.
So I had this family handy cam. I just took it with me, and I was just recording. And I then sort of to compile things. I learned iMovie and everything. I thought, okay, nice. This
Seems
is
cool.
I think before that I must have dabbled like 1 or 2 times in iMovie. So somewhere down the line I had this thing that okay, this is a fun process. Like I kind of enjoy it, right? But it was just like a thing that I did every once in a while. Someone would be in college. Someone in college would be like, okay, for this project, let's make a video. I'm like, I know this software. Let's make it.
Right.
But I never really got much into it. I think over time, because I was in marketing, I always had this thing in my mind that I wanted to become a full stack marketer.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, and I don't know what influenced that. A full stack marketer is essentially someone who knows everything about marketing, who can do everything. So I'm like a hyper generalist. I did not want to be a specialist for some reason. Like I thought, okay, there are too many people trying to like specialize in like one thing. Like a person wants to like just become a writer, right? Or someone just wants to become like one specific thing. And since I was in business school, there was anyways you were taught everything from every direction, like different aspects of business. So I was like, okay, as a marketer, let's explore the content side. Let's also explore the performance side. Let's also explore maybe like the automation side of it. So I've tried to do it all over like whatever work experience I had, and within that I did dabble a lot in like I taught myself graphic design. I taught myself how to use Illustrator. I did UI UX for some time. Then I taught myself motion graphics, Premiere Pro, and eventually
that's
over
the thing,
the
right?
years,
I feel like when you're starting, you end up learning everything. Have to. You put your hands in so many different jars.
Exactly. Like I was more design focused at one point because right after college, I was working while I was in my final year. I was working with a software guy, and we were making a website for this guy, and I was doing the UI UX. And I had a design sense, but as a UI UX, I was a bad UI UX designer because I didn't know the conventions. I didn't know how you can like automate your workflow and everything. I was just doing it as a way to earn some money.
Right.
And he had me on board, one, because I was his friend and he could trust me. And second, because he knew that, okay, I had that eye for design, which he did not.
Right.
But I was not formally trained.
Right.
So I tried that. Then we ended up going to Thailand. We were there for like 6 months.
This is the thing that you talked about when we last met. Okay.
Yeah, we were being digital nomads. Sorry. And back then also, I was mostly doing design related gigs. I did a little bit of copywriting here and there. And just to survive and like being able to like live that experience, it was just a very big experiment.
Right.
But that's how I was sort of honed into this. And eventually I was like, while I was doing this, I used to see on Upwork and Fiverr that a lot of people are asking for motion graphics. And motion graphics generally ends up earning a lot better money.
Right.
So then I sort of ended up teaching myself a little bit of that as well. And the human element of like the kind of videos I do now, like I think it's a culmination of like all these experiences, because my work that I did from 2018 to 20 was that I was heading marketing for this company, but I was also teaching. So it was an education company.
Okay.
And I got the opportunity to teach kids over there, like about marketing and whatever I knew. So I used to, back then, because I had really cracked Instagram back then because it was not so complicated.
Right.
It didn't have video reels. So how to like market a brand on Instagram, and like generally we'd actually done it for our company as well, and we were making good ROI on Instagram organically.
Okay.
Organically we were able to track sales. So my thing was to be able to teach that. So I had a lot of teaching experience. Like initially I think I was like a friend of mine, in fact my boss, he told me that I think you can teach well, you should do this workshop. And I did that workshop, and that's when I got some confidence in terms of, okay, I can maybe deliver a message and teach.
Right.
So then it all came together of me, me as a front facing, because before that I was never front facing. I would never like talk to the audience, but I thought that, okay, why not use this skill now and combine it with the skills of like visual presentation that I have, and put that across
storytelling
into like visual storytelling in one way or another.
That's very interesting, dude.
Yeah.
Like such a curve to how you end up being like a creator on Instagram.
Yeah. And I think I delayed it for too long. Like I just think I could have maybe started earlier, but there was just something or the other. There was some expectation that someone has from you, and
right.
You have to live up to their expectations. So like I think eventually I reached a point where I was like, okay, I gotta stop being sheep, and I just gotta like do what I gotta do.
Yeah.